Good morning and welcome to the PSA TV. I'm Avalon Williams. In studio here with us, he is returning Kelvin Wayne. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you.
We have been airing some situations with some children who are staying at the Cyril Ross home, which cater for kids that have the HIV virus. And Kelvin has taken up a big role where he was actually retrenched from the Cyril Ross home, and now he takes care of 11 children who are infected with the virus. So, and sat with us here, two anonymous, male and female. So they're actually a couple though, and the young lady is currently pregnant. She's almost due to give delivery, and this is the father of the child as well. So Kelvin, how are you working this situation with her being pregnant? How is that for you?
I was telling you earlier, she being pregnant now. I want to hustle a little more before the baby come to make sure I get some. Trying to speak with some people. Anybody could help with baby bag and some items consist for a newborn baby now. A boy. You know, so I'll be looking around to see the help I could get. That's why I keep on advocating that, begging the government for somebody for these children to stay, so that these children could get the necessary help that is required.
Right. I know with our previous interview where we aired with the first gentleman, he gave us his history while being at the Cyril Ross home. So I just want to ask you, your experience at the Cyril Ross home, the treatment you were given.
I was treating me for bad.
In what terms? How were they treating you badly?
Well, they was beating the PCR thing and I get trouble.
So you were beaten. You said.
I'm supposed to be laughing when you was young man.
Okay.
Bit pots, kind of thing.
Okay. Is that part of the rule inside of the Kelvin to abuse the kids?
No, and that's these things I keep saying. Well, he was there before I started, and that's what I'm saying. That even when I started there, I've been seeing things where the pinching, the mashing it, the train foot kind of squeezing it, and that's the form of discipline they're using it. And when I brought it to the president, even the manager attention, nothing is being done, because I see it as a form of abuse. There are different methods and we are discipline our child. You understand? And these are some of the things that I've been raising, that the effect it could have on these children when these children are put out of the home at 18, it could sort of have a mental effect on them.
I know you were telling us about being put out at the home at the age of 16, but the correct age is at 18. Why were you put out of the home at the age of 16?
Because they want to take her and because I used to get trouble.
So where were you sleeping when they put you out of the home at the age of 16?
Well, I was first in the home they had for adults, and then they put me from that place. So I didn't have anywhere to stay.
So you basically, was he part of the others who slept in the car park?
Yeah, well, they had a halfway house where they used to put them when they turn 18. But they said they're not getting funding, and I think the last time when I was there, we had a meeting with some persons from away where they give the home to some foreigners to house human trafficking children. So they kind of put these children aside and focusing on the human trafficking children. And now these children have to suffer because there's no halfway home for them when they turn 18. Yeah.
So where do you currently stay? Are you living with someone?
No, I'm staying at the car park.
You're staying at a car park. So in terms of meals and stuff like that, how do you eat?
Hustle. And if I eat today, maybe 2 days maybe.
In terms of your medication, how often do you take your medication?
Well, I now start back to take my tablets.
Right.
Because I wasn't taking it for a while.
Why is that though? Why you weren't taking it for a while?
Because I wasn't having funds to reach Port of Spain.
Okay, you had no money. So Kelvin, you supply money, food.
When I get wherever I get, who I could pick up. Sometimes if I don't see them, so it have others train where I had to go various places. Because you see this morning anytime I reach. So sometimes I had to go Well, the last time I know there was in Arima, staying by some abandoned place. Then I started to go to Napuna. Then some of them had to come down in the car park. Then some of them had to go Arima again. With these children scatter all over the place. So sometimes to get this one to pick up to go down for medicine. And remember, I'm not employed, so whatever little funds I have, is it hard to utilize it to see what I could get, who would get something to eat, who I could take to carry down for medicine. So I had to try and budget myself with my family and with them.
How do you have any family members?
Yeah, I have, but they don't care about me.
They don't care about you?
No. And I saw one today, but I didn't tell her anything because I know she would have never wanted to talk to me.
Can I get a bottle of water, please?
I could have told Kelvin that my sister there, but I didn't want it to because she would have still passed straight. So I didn't tell Kelvin that.
We in city again?
Yeah, when you were standing there,
Okay.
you see me watching a lady.
Sure, tell me. I'll go and stop her.
You don't care about me.
So you stayed at the home from a baby until at the age of 18? And they...
When my mother died, then my uncle was taking care of her. And then I think it was the other children that whole thing take me from by them because my uncle brother used to sell rat poison. So that's how I ended up in the home when I was young.
Okay. Kelvin, have you, you said you reached out to Children's Authority.
Yeah.
Anything came out of
No,
that?
but Children's Authority say they can't do anything for them. They are 18 years. They focus on from 17 go down. So there's nothing that they can do.
There is
concerning
nothing
that.
at least they could at least assist with?
So there's nothing they can do.
Because I've made some contacts with some persons, you know, to try to get them housed and somewhere.
No, I'm not doing not much less, and I keep emphasizing that just something for these children to stay. People always come and why I keep on calling them children. Yes, they're 18 years, but they are still children.
Yeah, because as, you know, I think they brought up in a home, they don't really know the street life and gangster and stuff like that, so that's why you call them children.
Yeah, and I keep saying, I was telling someone yesterday, especially girls and them, they're quick, more immune to sex predators when they come out from the home. Because if they wasn't teach or given no love at the home,
Right.
you understand? So when these children come out from the home at 18 years, a guy or somebody meet them, girl, a pretty girl, you see that the acceptance is what the children was looking for. And the home not giving up. The home is not giving up. I'm not trying to bring down the serious one, but I keep asking for next audience for the Archbishop. The home is not giving the children them that. And when they put them out on the street, the children are going to retaliate and behave in different way with hate and anger. You understand? Remember, these children are not well trained. These children are not well trained. And that's why I keep begging for help for these children and them.
How are you today?
Okay.
Okay. How many months are you?
Well, I only have a few weeks again.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
And you're having a boy or girl?
A boy.
A boy? How has the journey been for you being pregnant?
It is tough. Based on how money-wise I'm able to build up myself and get a child nutrition and yeah, so it's tough.
And you've met the father of the baby inside of the home?
Not really.
No?
Yeah, but I didn't know him from before.
Okay. What was your experience like inside of the home? Were you also at the Cyril Ross home or you were somewhere else?
I was an outpatient.
You were outpatient,
Yeah.
meaning that
She used to come visit there for medicines and so
Okay.
on. She was an outpatient.
So
She
where
didn't
were you?
visit.
Okay, where were you staying all the time?
Well, before I was staying with my grandparents, but I wasn't really with them because the cellulose used to take me for asthma. I used to more be in cellulose for asthma. And then my grandmother ended up taking me.
I know Kelvin made a statement where he said when girls came out of the home, you know, people will prey on them. Were you one of those? Where persons will see you and just cling to you?
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And would you come out outrightfully and tell that individual that I'm infected with a virus, you know? No?
No, well, as I individually wouldn't really come out and say that personally, because you know how people is talk,
Right.
what they say about certain disease, and for you to come out personally and say, well, I have HIV, I have it.
But would you
Yes, we
use
kinda-
protection though?
Well, yeah.
And were these men older than you? Were these married men? Were these just regular men on the streets who just walking by?
It's be all type of men.
All type of
Yeah, but
men.
it mostly be older. Yeah,
So they have taken advantage of you, you'll say.
in a sense, yeah.
And how old are you now?
19.
19 years old.
See, and that's what I'm speaking about. And there are more others. But I want to mention it, but they know about the others. And this is what these children going through. And that's why I say I can't stop until I know that these children have some way and they're given that chance.
Yeah.
If they, as I told you, if they mess it up, well, okay. But if they're given that chance, they have some way, they get employment or they do something that could sustain and help themselves. Just that's all I am begging for. Just for a chance for these children. And that's all I am begging for.
Have you ever reached like a breaking point where you feel frustrated, you feel left alone in the dark, nobody to turn to? You ever reached to that stage? No?
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you reach to that stage?
Sometimes I just feel to kill myself. Sometimes I just cry. I sit in a corner because people there watch me. You know, ask me if everything okay. I just answer them. Because I just want to be alone. But it doesn't be a nice feeling at all.
You have a son, you're expecting a son in a couple of weeks. How do you feel about that?
Not too good because we don't have any money, not working, and they might take the baby in a few weeks. So I'm not sure.
Because of the living conditions. So is that Children's Authority going to take the baby?
Yeah.
So they have spoken with you and
No, what they say was, if it is I don't get like somewhere to stay and get myself in an order before the child come, they will be taking the child.
But Kelvin, they are aware that they have nowhere to stay, they have no money and stuff like that?
Yeah, because one of the girls is the same problem she had, and what they do, they take the child for a period of time and say, once you organize yourself, we'll give you back the child. And they allow visitation and so on. But I say, instead of we taking that bond from a young mother and a child, let me try and get somewhere that the mother and the child will have, even with the father, because we see that despite what they're saying, they're on the road, they have no way, but he ain't give up.
Right.
And it hardly a man, so he ain't give up on the child or the child mother. So we want that chance to give them to have their family, to have a normal life. You know, and that's all I just keep begging for, that these children just given that chance. Somewhere it have so much abandoned places, so much agency houses. There's a place for these children to lay their head somewhere they could call home. Have to be no big fancy house. There's something that these children could, have a key to open and go and come.
In terms of education, have you finished any sort of secondary school?
No, I didn't get a chance to finish.
You didn't?
No, they take me from school and put me into my path.
Okay.
That's the people from syllabus. They asked the teacher to sign something. I don't know what it was, and the teacher signed, and they put me into my path.
Okay. So he was attending a school before?
Yeah. He was attending school.
Yeah, I was attending San JLC.
Okay. And up to what level you left there?
Level 2.
It's Form 2, that's going to be Form 2, right?
Yeah, Form 2.
Okay, so from Form 2 you went straight to Cyril Ross?
No, I went to my path.
My part? And then after my part,
When I went back home, they put me out from me because I didn't get to finish my part either.
okay. What are some of the subjects you enjoyed when you was in school?
Well, it wasn't subject, it was more like adolescent.
Oh, okay. Is there anything in particular you like doing in terms of trade?
Yeah.
What is
I like
that?
to draw and
You like to draw? So you're gonna draw your girlfriend and the baby.
yeah, I could draw.
Have you drew a picture of yours yet?
No,
No? You ever ask him to draw a picture of you?
no.
What school did you attend as well?
Gonna pay.
Canopia. And at what grade you stopped?
I went straight out to Form 5.
So you did CXC?
Yeah.
So you got passes as well?
I got one pass.
One pass. In terms of trade and stuff, you know, what do you like to do?
Well, I went Sorbonne
Mm-hmm.
and I was pursuing culinary art, but I didn't get to finish.
Mm-hmm. How come though?
Well, that time I was on my own, right? And money-wise, I was staying up Diego Martin, and from Diego Martin to Shoguners, money-wise it wasn't, so I had to drop out.
In terms of not having money, what would you do to get money? What was your next avenue? What was the avenue you turned to?
Well, the only way to get money was to hustle, however you could.
Mm-hmm. And you did that coming out of Diego Martin all the way to
Till now.
to now. You feel as though you've been forgotten? Have you ever reached a breaking point in your life that, you know, I'm just tired and done with everything?
Yeah.
What goes through your mind?
It's be like, where's the point I've been out there? You're just trying, and you still have to go through all this pressure, everybody telling you something.
I'm sure you're being criticized a lot.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're still trying, but like you're trying, don't mean nothing to nobody. So it's being a state of mind where, alright, whatever happen. Whether or not it's good or bad.
But you have a baby on the way.
But that's just it.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's good or bad.
Are you prepared for the delivery of your baby?
Right now, preparing.
You're preparing. So you're getting help from Kelvin and other persons?
That is what make me start to really make up my mind.
In terms of you being infected with the virus and the baby, and I know you take your medication,
Yeah.
could you explain to me, you know, the procedures and the virus not reaching the baby?
Well, once you're going through it, taking the tablets on time, you're always taking it. The only thing that they wouldn't be able to do as a female is breastfeed. And, well, I'm not sure if you'll be able to make the child naturally.
Okay.
But majority of the time is either do a C-section.
C-section.
Yeah, and you can't breastfeed.
So you're going to stock up on a lot of milk
Yeah, I have to
so that she will not breastfeed the
breastfeed her,
baby.
yeah. She'll make sure not do that.
So have you been starting to put
I'm
aside
trying
all of
to
that?
see what last night I was talking to one or two persons, and this time they will get back in touch with me concerning a bag consists of baby things and things. So when she going for labor and so on and thing, and then after, because I think the health center used to give her milk,
Okay.
so I inquire if they still do that and see if I could get a case that I could put on for us.
In terms of growing up, how was life for you growing up as a child? Your mom, is she still alive?
No, my both parents not alive
Okay.
since baby. But growing up as a child, it wasn't hard, but was easier to work with than now.
Because you had your grandparents taking
Yeah.
care of you at that time.
Yeah.
What made you love your grandparents?
Wanting to have my own way.
Despite knowing your condition?
Yeah.
Are you still like that?
Well, certain things out there is open up their eyes. Literally. Say, yeah.
Do you have any regrets now?
No regrets. None whatsoever. People say supposed to, but I have none.
Okay. Do you have any regrets with anything? Let me hear. You can air it all out.
I regret not staying in school and being by myself in school and stuff. I don't regret. Since primary school I get in trouble. So that is the one regret I have.
Why were you given all this trouble? Is it something that prompted you to just misbehave from primary school to secondary school? Was there something of...
I used to say I stupid, I dumb, and I'm going to make it in school and things. So I just used to get trouble because I say that I'm not going to make it, and I'm watching the book and I'm seeing that I can't do the work now. So I used to just get trouble to make myself feel better than how I was feeling when they tell me I'm dumb and stupid and stuff.
How did any students in school knew about you being infected with the virus?
Well, it had one, and they tried to spread a rumor, but I make them know that to spread a rumor and tell them it's a lie.
Because you felt embarrassed. You felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
Would you say have you ever targeted like any females and not tell them, you know, I'm infected, I can't, and because you're a good looking guy. I mean, nobody will look at you and say, hey, he's sick. Have you ever came out outrightfully and told?
No, I didn't afford for them to score me.
So would you just pursue the relationship with the individual?
Well, yeah, I just use your word.
Okay, you use protection. But do you think that was the right thing, even though you're using protection?
No, but some people are certain by that.
I'm sure you have a lot of girls that look at you. A lot. I'm sure you get headache with them. You do?
Yeah.
So how is the relationship? How long you all have been together?
2 years and something.
2 years. And this is the first time you've ever gotten pregnant?
Yeah.
And this is the first baby you have? You sure? You have a name and everything for him already?
Well, I have one in mind so far.
Okay. Are you prepared to be a dad? It's a big responsibility.
Well, I'm prepared, but not prepared at the same time.
If you're given an opportunity to work, what type of job would you prefer?
Well, to my liking, it would be like foods, hairdressing, or taking care of old people.
Okay. And yourself?
Well, I like food too. I used to work in plenty of food places, but I prefer to work like construction and stuff.
Okay. And have you gone on any construction site asking for opportunities to work with them?
No, I don't see no construction going on.
You don't see any construction going on? Kelvin, do you see any construction going on?
But a few places are by my side and so on and things, but AGC places building up on my side, but I never really do any query to see if they need anyone.
So if Kelvin is not wrong, how would you fend for yourself? Do you think you could survive without Kelvin?
Right now, no.
You think you could survive without Kelvin?
No.
So Kelvin is like the father figure in both of your lives. So this is going to be your grandson coming.
Yeah. No, I thought she can't breastfeed her child. I don't want her already coming of age. She can't breastfead her child. No. She can breastfeed her child. I'll do more breast. Because I promise that I'm going to be there for them. You know, what thing is that, as I was telling you earlier on, Cyril Ross is run by the Catholic. And I remember when the two of them was sleeping outside, I tell you, on the ground. Sometimes they wear old clothes, they throw on the ground and they sleep on the ground. And many mornings when I come to work and I go in the back, look at them, they could ask them, and we go in the back and I see them, you know, and then one time I came and I hear the manager take the clothes and they wet down where they were sleeping and they called police to run them. And I was like, these are...
were they committing a crime? Why would you call police?
These are children, you see them on the ground sleeping who used to reside there. You have accommodation in a night shelter in the back room. You could house these children and see, listen, or let's stay here for 2 days, let me see what could be done to help these children. You know, you just get rid of them like if there's dog, there's animal. And if you remember that, this is what the children keep repeating, because with the last one with the boy, all they keep repeating that some of them so fed up alive that they just want to kill themselves. You understand? And that's what I said, because the children and them see no hope. They see no hope.
Kelvin, would you say you were retrenched by the Cyril Ross because you showed a lot of interest in these children?
I was fired because they find I was speaking too much about the abusing the children and the condition that some of the children were in, those who they put out, and I find it was wrong. Yes, 18 like the policy at the home, but remember these children, some of the children, they from baby, some from 5 years, and that is all the children know. So what is being put in place when you put out a child? When you put out 18 years, you dump them in the car park like animals, and dies a day with a 2 pounds, a jersey, a toothbrush, a toothpaste. And these things was hurting me, and I started to speak out about it.
If you had a second chance to go back to Cyril Ross home to work, would you take that offer?
With the betterment of the training, yeah. Once they put things in place that when the children turn 17, 18, things put in place for when the children leave the home. You understand?
With things put in place you're mentioning, tell me some of the things you wish that should be put in place for children when they pass the age 18 to leave the home.
Okay, when a child from 16, 17 is where they start training them in the home for when they reach outside. So then them lay skills, cooking, learning to maintain yourself, learning to do little things, how to apply, how to react when you go on a job interview and those things, life skills, right? When this child was 17 years, these are things I brought up when we had meeting members of staff. From 17 years, okay, we starting to put things in place where we looking for work for you. So we know, listen, this child is 18 in the next 2 weeks, next 2 months, so on. So it have a job waiting for this child. So we know when this child leave this home, he going into a job. We have something somewhere or something to sustain himself. We're trying to see what the place we can get. So even if he get a job, even if the society, the St. Vincent de Paul Society help for 2 months, or the society get the government to help pay the rent for 3 months, and after that the child have to stand your own responsibility. And these are what we're talking about, give the children a chance. If they blow it up, okay, that's on them. And that's why I keep fighting for these children, because these children were not given a chance. You understand? And that's all I keep begging for, give the children a chance. Put things in place when they start from 16 years, because we know they only have 2 years at the home.
I know you have came from the Cyril Ross home, and you have seen everything inside. In your point of view, could you, explain to us the treatment you have witnessed for yourself given towards these children at the home?
Well, as I said, the children always testify. I see some of the mommies saying, all they're going on there just now, all their AIDS. When when they get out with the children, all their AIDS, all they're going on there just now, all they're sick, my children better than all you. And I keep saying, we in a home where there's children. Remember, we are not the biological parents. So sometimes you're going to tell a child something because it's children, they're going to retaliate in certain way. But the matter is how we deal with the situation.
Right.
They could either bubble it or ease it. And some of the mommies, I'm not saying all, were very arrogant towards the children. Because yes, it's not yours. Yes, your child might be a lawyer, your child might be a doctor, or your child going to some prestige school. These children have no family. You understand? And that's what how they treat the children. And some of these who come in here, they will tell you the same thing. They burst out, they tell the children wherever they feel on their mind. And when I keep bringing this thing to the manager, there's supposed to be some policy put in place that you are verbally abusing the children.
Right.
And what you think will go on when the children see mommy the next day? If you today did mommy come and tell the child, one of the caretakers, you're stupid, you went there just now because it. And when the child lash out with the abusive language or curse, you find the child disrespectful. So listen, we have to get rid of the child. You understand? We have to get rid of the child. And as the guy was saying, they want to put him on 16 because yes, the misbehaving is children.
Right.
It's children, and that's why I keep saying, listen, remember all of us there, even myself, we were not trained. The society just hire people. We're not trained to deal with situations.
So would you say that the society, as you said, hired persons who are not trained, who do not know how to deal with children?
No, we are not trained. Okay. And that was including me. I am not trained in that aspect. But because I have children, and because I pass through certain things in life, I could understand the feeling of what they go through.
Yeah.
Yes, and so children going to retaliate, children going to get on, because we are not the biological parents. You understand? Even with the biological parent, they will get on. Certain things, most child like their own way. But is we guiding them in that aspect, you understand? And that is what the home don't have.
You seem to show a lot of love towards them.
Yeah, because when I tell you, I build a love with these children at the home. I build a love with these children, and I really can. I find these children deserve better than what they get.
What about the others that is out somewhere walking around,
That is it.
looking?
Wherever looking to see what they could hustle, how they could survive outside here.
How many of them, again, is out there?
Well, plenty. It have who I didn't even know who used to reside in the home, trying to see how they could reach me. Because yes, and as I said in the previous interview, some of the children have family. But the family would not, because most of them children, the parents dead. So either they would aunt or uncle or grandma. And the family will not put that effort as the mother would. Knowing that the child have this illness, you're not bringing in anything. Remember, I have my children to see about. Yes, and these are some of the situations these children have to go through. You understand, living by other family members.
Do you think when the baby is born, your family will want to take up any role? Are they aware that you're even pregnant?
Yeah. I didn't say my family is a bad family, but they would have pressure on them. They would want to, being mothers and female, but I personally want to see about it for myself with the help of Kelvin.
But first you have to get a place to stay.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been working on very hard. I mean, over the weekend, I've been making calls as well. So I'm just waiting to hear feedback from certain persons who I've been leasing with. Because I'm hoping, I'm not too sure what is the situation with having both
Parties,
together in one. Because I know females go one way, males go. Yeah. In terms of a situation like that, how would you guys feel being separated? How would you feel being separated from your girlfriend?
I feel good because she have somewhere to stay. But I feel bad because she's not with me.
Right. And you feel the same way?
I feel bad because you wouldn't be around when the child growing up. It's just me and the child. And we had to go out to see father.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to be different. I'm hoping, they could probably...
And I'm praying that something be done, because someone come me last night concerning some place, but they're working on someone from away to purchase, because the person was trying to get in touch with me, see how they could assist me in
Then they
place-wise
see what took place via the...
Yeah, because I sent the video when
because of the interview.
Yeah, share the interview, and so
you
they're
got
trying to see what they
out.
could, they're trying to see what they could do a place, because as she was saying, and you're saying to separate them, knowing that there's a newborn baby. But if that is the only solution, he will be still seeing each other, he'll be still seeing her, and so on. Then that will have to be the situation. But I'm doing my endeavor best that they could be together. So I'm waiting on certain calls to see what could be done, and so on and things for them concerning having them together.
I'm just kind of disturbed by the treatment they were given at the Cyril Ross home. You were working directly inside of there. You could testify to these things. I don't think they're lying. To me, I think the whole situation stems from within the home. That is why, some of them are unhappy. I know the last person, he spoke about being abused and stuff like that. he even spoke about being abused by his friends. Are these friends even aware of what's happening? What is their situation in terms of having the virus?
And that's what I keep saying.
Is it under control?
That's what I keep saying, because this trend, I mean, it's impossible that this trend will be going to meet somebody like them to go and say, excuse me, I'm HIV positive.
Are you guys willing, to come out in the open instead of, trying to infect other persons? Come out outrightfully and have that individual know I'm HIV. Do you think you have that in you to come out outrightfully to tell someone that if they're coming on to you, just to save another life?
I would rather just say,
You sure?
I wouldn't really, if I knew that I gotta come out and tell you, I wouldn't really continue the conversation.
You think you can do that just to limit other persons from, catching this virus? Because it's nothing that it could heal and go away,
But I don't really talk to much people, I just watch and observe. I don't really talk to much girls and stuff. I just mostly play games and stuff. Talk to girls.
So during the day, where are you mostly during the day? Where do you spend most of your time during the day?
All over the place.
All over? Working, doing something, or just...
Just hustling, looking for the money.
Okay. When you say hustling, looking for the money, what is hustling to you? Because I'm trying to understand,
Asking people for money. To buy certain things like deodorant and stuff. And things to eat.
And they help you? They give it to you?
Sometimes, and sometimes salt.
So during the day, you go out, you ask for money. Is there a particular area you target and then you go back to where you sleep in a parking lot in Tunapuna?
No. I just go all over the place. I go one place today, next place. I go to somewhere else like Arima.
And you just walk in? No transport?
No.
You do the same, or you just in the parking lot? But you're pregnant, so you walk all over. And when you stand in these places and you ask for money, is it given to you?
Majority of the time is a give and take.
Give and take meaning?
They give them something to get something.
So these are like grown people asking. And when they come onto you in that way, do you stop them, or because you're so desperate for the money?
Majority of the time, I just stop them. Sometimes it does not know what a choice. There's no way else to do this. Is when you make get something to eat, when you make get something to sustain yourself, you gotta go with it.
Would you say these are working men in offices and stuff like that will just see you asking for money, but they want something in return?
No, it is any man in particular, working or not working, when you walk up to them, you ask them if they can help me out with something to eat. The main question that, so why them for that? Sometimes it is out of it because I don't have. I really do.
But would they see you with a big belly and still?
They don't care. They say how you're pregnant, that will one more.
Really?
Yeah.
And at no time you tell these men, is either you give me or you can't, because I can't do this because I'm HIV?
No, well, that last part to come out is just, is either you give me or, because at the end of the day I come to you for help, not for help.
And you feel going to them for help, they're taking advantage of you. Is that how it is?
Yeah. If I don't give, then I wouldn't get. Why they say is, if how I go and give what I have, I have to you for help.
That's really
I keep
sad.
saying that even at the home, they're not educating the training them to the fact concerning the illness they have. You understand? Then we say, listen, you have a sickness where you have to know how to control it. Yes, they're a normal human being, they're boys, girls with feeling just like you and I. You know, you will see a girl you love, a girl will see she like, she will see a boy. They're feeling just like I, like you and I, but it's how to control it. Because knowing that they have a sickness that could pass on to other person. And these are the education that why they're not educating the children.
But do you even do the same with them as well, Kelvin? Like, you know, you tell them,
Well, as I said
Step
before,
back.
yes, I try to see how I could avoid even having intercourse with person and you know, sharing the illness. But as I said, if I see them with somebody, I'm not going to go up and say, excuse, this person not going to put the child at risk, knowing if she maybe or he maybe done had sex with the person, and now the person like they did never know that they know this, and then they want to kill them or they want to, because right now I have one of the girls who did the same thing and people looking for her. They found out that she has the
so
sickness.
whoever she been with looking for her to do what now?
Wherever they want to do damage or wherever, because they find out that she has the HIV.
In your point of view, would you say there's a lot of people infected in Trinidad and Tobago with this HIV virus?
Yeah.
And it's just, give me an average.
Well, for me, as I see it, basically 80%.
And you also?
So it's have plenty of people with what I used where I go to take the tablets there, like over 9,000 and more. So it's have a lot. And have other places that deal with HIV too, so have a lot of people.
Do you think after today's interview, you all will just stick together and not, I mean, if after having a baby, you're not going to go back out on the street, you're not going to ask someone for money for them to come and ask you for something in return. You think you can like stop that if you really get help?
That's the plan. That's why we're here.
And you think with the prolong of not getting assistance, you will just remain on the streets?
Well, for me, personally, if I'm not seeing, well, I just hear people saying I have been, but I'm really seeing that result.
Right.
My
And you have heard it
mindset,
before?
Yeah.
Okay. And was did anything came out of it? Okay.
So, and if I see that nothing really coming out there, and I just hear say and they say.
You've been interviewed before by other persons?
No,
Okay.
not interviewed per se, but people who say they're willing to help, make calls and become like the papi show, the
Right.
premium.
Right. You feel the same way? You feel the same way as well?
Which way?
In terms of persons reached out to you to assist you and nothing?
No. I will just try to make it all back on. You know, just get a piece of money and get passport, I put your police record and then thing on the forward. And try to make it from there.
And I keep saying that I'm begging, even the Minister of Health, Satyelda they are saying, help me to help these children, even to help others from getting the virus. Because see, as you try to say, the help, where I keep seeking going into a year now, being interviewed by different people, letting these children meet different people, as Shred we say, being putting them up right through. And all everybody keep doing is talking. And the children are not seeing nothing materializing. So they're just getting frustrated. And the more frustrated they get, they're going out to look for help. And however the help come, either it will be having sex or whatever they have to do to get the help, they will do it. But they're not going to tell anybody that they have the illness. So what do you think going to happen outside? It's going to be spreading more and more. So like we say we had 100 persons in Trinidad with it. We end up with 200-300 persons, you understand? And that's why I'm asking for the assistance.
What is your one wish you want right now?
Right that everything goes through smooth with my time, and I could be able to see myself going somewhere better. Not just myself, me and my family.
What's the,
Yes, my family.
that's good. What's the message you want to give to TNT this morning?
Well, my message is to just watch people and try to take advantage of them, no matter how small it is. Like everybody's human being at the end of the day. Everybody have a mind, everybody have feeling.
What's your one wish?
I wish that I had someone to stay, get work, and make it in life the right way.
And a message you want to leave to with the public?
Go to school and learn your good.
I hope you did that.
Things will be hard.
Kelvin, I want to thank you again for coming on this show, and having them so brave enough to come to us as well to air their concerns and the situation they're in today. And I just want to ask you to leave your closing comment, exactly what it is you're asking for.
Well, as I said again, you notice the second interview, none of them asked that they want money or they want this. All they want is somewhere to live and I work. And that's why I keep them saying the train and not lazy train. They just need that little help. And that's why I'm keep begging the government and begging any citizen of train just for the help. Help us with somewhere that this train could stay. We're not looking for handout. You understand? And this train are human being. You might know who they are, so come to ask for assistance. Well, they're not going to tell you that they're HIV. But we're asking persons to be mindful. Just to be mindful.
Could you leave a contact so persons could reach you just in case?
284-2449.
Just repeat it slower for them.
284-2449.
Thank you so much.
Contact me on that number.
I want to thank both of you for coming here today, but I am working along with Kelvin and some other persons to try to get you all housed somewhere and also try to make you all do some sort of academic studies and stuff like that. Because I know you said you went to White Up, you passed through.
CCC and my pap.
Okay. So I'm going to try my best, and thank you so much for coming, Kelvin. Thank you so much for bringing them here this morning. So we've come to the end of this segment here at PSA TV. I'm Avalon Williams. This is the humanitarian activist, Kelvin Wayne. He has been taking care of the children that left.
We put out of the service.
That were put out of the Cyril Ross Children's Home, which is catering for persons with the HIV virus. So Kelvin has been taking care of 11 children who's actually homeless right now, roaming, looking for their next meal and somewhere to stay. So I'm Avalon Williams. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.